Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code Leading Off. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia. That, of course, is the Welsh. And it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, hanging out here talking baseball with us today. We've got a lot of injuries to get to today. Some actually positive for a change. Players working their way back. It's tremendous. What a time to be alive. We've got the 3 up, the 3 down. And, of course, we've got you, the Welsh, hanging out with us. Welsh, how's it going, my friend? I want to do a wellness check because it's 2 months into the season.
A Welshness check.
A Welshness check, yes. 2 months into the season. You know, we're a third of the way there. I just want to see how you're holding up there, Bubba.
Well, Corbin Carroll still stinks. So that's a negative. Ronald Acuna's out for the season. One of the best players in baseball. That's not good. Julio hasn't recouped. We are losing pitchers left and right. Prospects stink. I'm doing great. Things are good. I got waxed in betting yesterday.
Okay.
Top of the morning, right. Joe.
I think somebody needs a cannoli. That's what I think. That's
yeah, I might need a cannoli. Yeah, I'm in a mood.
Or a whole dozen. You get a whole dozen, just walks on the couch, just watching Scooble and Jones after this, just eating cannolis. That's
I'm also on the opposite end of that right now. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get back on it. So now I'm getting back on it. So that means no more bad things. So now I have no.
Oh, you're on the fitness trail.
So I might be extra cranky.
Well, that would
next
account
couple
for
years. Yeah.
You know what? Pick up smoking. I hear people, that helps a lot too. There you go.
Oh, that's really good for the health. You know what? Good on you. Doctors in the 50s said go for it.
Smoking's good for you. You know, my grandfather smoked for 70 years, right? He's probably smoking since he was like 11 years old, probably, right? And he just quit cold turkey in his 80s. And I remember saying, like, how did you, what? He's like, well, I just decided, my doctor said it wasn't good for me. I was like, what do you mean you died? Like, all of a sudden?
Oh, just now?
You just heard that now?
Like a 30-year gap between doctor visits? Like, oh, they changed their mind.
Like, yeah, my doctor said it was bad for me, so I quit. This is crazy. What are you going to do? Medicine's come a long way. Josh Naylor's come a long way, too. He's been a little rocky the last couple of weeks, but he was good against the Rockies yesterday. Oh, what a segue that was. 2 homers for him yesterday. Tristan McKenzie, season high 9 strikeouts for him. Jose Ramirez, who is better than Barry Bonds, according to Jose Ramirez. Homer, doubled, walked twice. Big day for the Cleveland Guardians. David Fry also 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer as well. Fry's been really hot here. 357, 492, 622, 7 homers, 4 steals. What do you make of the Fry guy?
The Fry guy is the real guy. We talked about him a couple weeks back.
We did.
Pick up speculative ads. You run with that. He's been, let me pull this up. It's funny because there's a lot of things that you unpacked in there that I want to talk about. Josh Naylor was being one of them, but on the Naylor side, hitting 357, 7 freaking homers this year, almost has a higher walk rate than strikeout rate, 42% hard hit rate. That's higher than last year. Incredibly great launch angle. I mean, you can see his plan of attack, hit the ball hard, get it in the air, 18-degree launch angle, which is nuts, with an average exit velocity of 90. And the dude is hitting over 270 against all pitch types right now. From an expected, he's actually hitting 350. Oh no, it's even better. 340 or higher against all pitch types with an expected of at least 370. So he's not getting beat. He's not striking out. He's walking. He's getting the ball in the air. It seems like it can last. This seems sustainable. David Fry is an absolute buy, just like Josh Naylor was. I actually wrote him up in we have one of those like buy sell articles on Fantasy Pros that dropped today. I wrote it yesterday, and then he goes and hits 2 bombs because everything is telling an incredible story for Josh Naylor. And he's kind of tough because the homers were high before I wrote that up. He already had 13 homers, but he was only hitting 229. But he had one of the highest expected batting average in his favor. Great hard hit. Now, I mean, everything across the board was saying, oh, this doesn't work. And by the way, one of the lowest BABIPs in all of baseball. So Josh Naylor was an absolute buy. It's tough to buy him coming off of a 2 home run game. But if people are still sitting on the average, I think the best is yet to come for Naylor, which might be like an incredibly crazy year.
One of our peanuts here, Elias, traded Ranger Suarez for Tyler Glass now. Well done. That's all I can say. I think that's a win. Well,
Uh,
that's
huge one. Joe, I want to ask you though, because you and I were talking lately off air about the Josh Gibson stuff and all the stats being changed. That makes me think you hear Jose Ramirez say I'm better than Barry Bonds, and I'm just thinking about like all the trajectory of baseball and you hear a guy like Jose Ramirez say that.
Oh, it's ludicrous. And I love Jose Ramirez. I think it's great that Jose Ramirez has the confidence to say that. Good for you, big fella. Good for you, big dog. I love
Good
it.
for you, buddy.
Good for you. You're adorable, Jose. Jose Ramirez is a great player. He's an MVP candidate every year. He's not Barry Bonds. He's not wrecking the league. Barry Bonds wrecked the league for about a decade. It's crazy.
I watched that video. For whatever reason, it was on my timeline yesterday. Was when the Diamondbacks walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. The bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, and they were just like, "Nope, we're gonna walk Barry Bonds. We're gonna put that run in," and that was like the first time that had ever happened in history. So Bonds is also on top of my mind. Like I appreciate the confidence, but I mean. Of all the players, if you were to say, hey, this player, or someone says this player is better than Barry Bonds, it ain't going to be Jose Ramirez that comes up. He's a fantastic player, but I don't know, man.
Ramirez Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, again, that's a whole other can of worms with the steroid things and all that stuff. He was pretty much a Hall of Famer before anyway. It doesn't make a difference to me. And there's already guys in the Hall of Fame who took steroids. So tell the story of the era. The era might not be a pretty one, but if you're telling the story of the era and the best players who played in that era, and it wasn't illegal when they were doing it, then what's the problem? I don't understand it. I don't abdicate it. I'm saying go out there, kids, and go, eat your vitamins and take your steroids. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Rafael Palmeiro was a great hitter. Rafael Palmeiro was a great hitter in his era. And you look at the other guys that are in the Hall of Fame ahead of him, and it's a joke. It is. Barry Bonds.
It's actually an interesting.
Roger Clemens more than me. I hate Roger Clemens on so many levels. The levels of hatred I have for Roger Clemens are so high. He should be in the Hall of Fame. If I had a vote, I can't stand him. The person, the bravado, don't like anything about the guy. But he's a Hall of Famer. At the end of the day, he's one of the greatest pitchers ever lived. You can't tell the story of baseball from the mid 80s to the early 2000s without him. You just can't. So whatever. I think it's leading off stuff.
Well, but it's also it's a little bit relevant with the stuff that's going on right now. That they're bringing back in with Josh Gibson and everything like that. Like you think about like these, you're talking about eras of baseball, and you think we get into the discussions of Babe Ruth and back in, and then it's just like they're going to ignore these couple players because they were maybe more outwardly known to be doing something that everybody inwardly was doing, is in the Hall of Fame. Like I actually completely agree. We should look at baseball in eras and block it out and kind of have like that vision of it. And to say that wasn't an era.
I mean, look, I think we look at the dead ball era of baseball and we see it one way. I think we look at, when we see baseball in the 50s in one way. I think but
then we're cherry picking. We're cherry picking those eras then.
Well, you are, but I think it matters then when you're a great hitter in the late 60s, when Bob Gibson and all those guys are pitching, and Tom Seaver and guys are pitching a 1 ERAs. Like, I mean, before they make the change to the mound, I think you look at the 80s in a certain way because the game was different. So guys like Mike Schmidt really stand out because of the power they had when guys were, it was more of a make contact, steal bases kind of game. And then you get into the 90s when it becomes a power game, you have to you just got to keep it real. Just keep it real at the end of the day. And I do say the one thing, and we're not going to get into this conversation here because that's, again, a whole other show. But you did mention how MLB is moving these stats in from the Negro Leagues. And, I love the Ken Burns baseball documentary about the sections in there about the Negro Leagues are so interesting. And I think they took so much pride in creating their own league and their own situation there. And I think in some ways it's kind of odd because there was so much pride in that being its own separate thing to then put it all together seems an odd choice to me, but doesn't matter if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. But now that the record books are going all over the place, it does now open up the door for Major League Baseball to shorten the regular season, add more playoffs, and say, record books, schmecker books, let's just play baseball. And that could be the beginning of that starting to open up the vice a little bit of the old school baseball mentality of like everything is gate kept and everything is special and every, no, maybe it is going to be a different era we're moving into because You have to evolve the game. Freddie Peralta, he's been evolving. 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts for Freddie P. Great performance from him. Hunter Brown was good. Can you believe that? And Alex Bregman in the same game. 9 strikeouts for Hunter Brown. Bregman 2 for 4 with a homer. What's going on, Welsh? Rafael Devers 4 for 5. Good night for him. Kevin Pillar. This is a fun story. So the White Sox released Kevin Pillar after he goes 4 for 25. Now he has been slashing 431, 459, 759 with 5 homers in 17 games for the Angels. Do you pick up Kevin Pillar? I mean, we all know it's not going to last, but Welsh, it's pretty unbelievable right now.
Yeah, he's getting run. It was funny. He was on, I think he was on foul territory the day he got cut or something like that. It was like he was talking about the craziness of why he signed there, and then he got, cut from the White Sox and all this nonsense. And he's a solid player. You run it while you can, and then you move on when you're out. Like Kevin Pillar's on a little bit of a heater. We've seen some of those Angels be able to pull up, some pretty good production, especially hitting higher in the lineup. I'm cool with Pillar right now, but I'm going to have a quick trigger finger for sure. And I just wanted to mention on Hunter Brown, Lance Brozdowski had brought up, I have to watch the video. I haven't done it yet, but he has this cool video that he's talking about like in-season changes. A lot of players in general kind of suffer from not doing in-season changes. And he was talking about pitchers, George Kirby being one of those that started implementing some in-season changes. And Hunter Brown was one of those. And I think what it was, in mentioning in his short preview video, was that Hunter Brown decided to start throwing a sinker midway through. He's had massive struggles early on in the year. And then, because last year he barely threw it 0.2% of the time, it's up to almost 7% of the time, because I think that's the new addition to try to make some of these pitches a little bit better. And it's worked. This addition of that sinker looks like it has worked in helping him kind of re-find himself. So it might be a half decent buy time for Hunter Brown right now.
It very well might be. Certainly a time where you could pluck him away. I mean, he might even be on waiver wires in the shallow leagues too. Tyler Glasnow struck out 8, 2 earned runs over 7 innings. But on the other side, Tyler McGill, who I told everybody in the last waiver wire video, Adam, pick him up. He was really good going into all these rehab starts. 9 strikeouts, 7 scores against the Dodgers. No decision, but against the Dodgers. So McGill's another guy you should be adding. All right, let's have some fun here. Julio Rodriguez, 2 for 4. I think we're going to be okay, boys and girls. I mean, the slump lasted a little longer than we wanted. I don't think it's all his fault. He has 0 line of protection there. Get this man some protection, please. Jose Abreu, by the way, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Welsh, your thoughts?
Jose Abreu,
Oh, guys, very good, very good. Cole Ragans, 9 hits, 3 earned, 5 innings. The enigma that is Cole Ragans, start to start, Welsh. This is kind of when I got into the big fight with Nick Pollock in the offseason on the show here. This was exactly what I was saying. I think Cole Ragans is going to be a guy that's going to have some great starts, and then some starts where you're kind of scratching your head. And you know what? We're 2 months into the season. He's had some great starts and some starts where we're kind of scratching our head. And I think that's okay. I think the long-term projectability is still really interesting. He's certainly got all the makings of what could be a really good front-of-the-rotation starter. But if you're going to be a fantasy ace, if you're going to be, drafted and lauded as a guy who's going to carry rotations at the big league level, consistency is one of the things you need the most. And Reagan so far hasn't quite found that, but maybe he will as the season goes on. Do you think he will?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to bet that he's going to. I don't want to bet against that in general, that, that it's going to be kind of lost and everything like that. But, I'm taking a look at this last start to the first start, and I think it was the slider that was added. That was the big thing that ended up being, added to the repertoire. And he had a 40% whiff rate on it last year. He throws 5 pitches, 10% of the time, and that hasn't changed. And actually, the usage is exactly the same, but the slider is wildly ineffective this year. And that would be something to break down. 40% whiff rate last year, 22% whiff rate. Last year was the highest whiff pitch. This year, it's the lowest whiff pitch. And in this last start, he threw 8% sliders with his 0% whiff rate. He only had whiffs on his changeup and fastball. It was 2 pitches. Plus, he was not in the zone at all. I mean, 38% changeup. I mean, not that you want to be in the zone with a lot of these pitches. 13% zone rate on his slider. He doesn't have his slider. And even though that's a low usage pitch, it seems to be kind of adding to the inconsistency of him this entire year. The four-seam fastball has been better. The changeup looks worse. The cutter is a lot worse. It's getting hit 385 batting average against this year. It was 270 last year. So cutters and sliders have similar variants of each other. That pitch, that grip is not working for him right now, and it's making him less effective with some control issues. So what does that mean? It's going to be tough for him to be like a Cy Young ace top 10 SP. Is he going to probably perennially be like a solid buy low when he struggles? Maybe, but you're going to have to know that there's some ups and downs with him and some big strikeouts. So that's kind of the breakdown. I don't know. Maybe there's mid-season changes he can make, do something to the slider, stop throwing it, stop throwing the cutter. I don't know what that is. But he hasn't made an in-season change, and he's been pretty inconsistent. And at least we can kind of identify where it is.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's the consistency that makes you great. It's the difference of you being drafted as a top 15 starter or as a top 30 starter. And I think if you're going to get to that 15 range, you got to be a consistent guy.
Would you rather have Ragans or Jared Jones rest of season, knowing Jared Jones is like stuff? I even throw Skeens in there. Like let's do let's just do a ranking. Let's not do the other thing that you do.
I say Jones, Ragans, Skeens still.
Okay, so Skeens is at the bottom.
Skeens.
But Jones is ahead of Skeens rest of season.
For me, yeah. I mean, Jones, dude. I mean, Jones has been unbelievably good. And he has been consistently good. Now, I know that train's going to pull into the station sooner than I wanted to. But I think I'm going to take my lumps that way, especially in season-long roto, where I just want that consistency every week. And when it shuts down, it shuts down. But Reagan's going out there being inconsistent, I think, is going to hurt me in the long run. I'd rather have let me put it this way. I'd rather have the incredibly beautiful 130 innings or whatever I might get, 125 innings, than the 160 inconsistent innings I might get out of Reagan's in a season-long roto. Head-to-head, it might be different.
Mike brings up a good question. But I'll after the next good start. But the same thing is, what are you more likely to do? Sell Ragans after the good start or buy him after the bad start? Which one are you more team of?
Wait, say that one more time. I'm trying to find.
Would you rather? Right there. Would you rather sell Ragans after a good start or buy him on the bad start?
That's very zen. Buy him after a bad start because you can't have enough pitching. That's my answer.
It's a good way to put it. And like, if you're selling Ragans off of the good start, what are you buying? Because you really don't have enough pitching. We can never have enough pitching into this year. So what is the thing that you end up buying from him? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's continue on the 3 up and 3 down. Gavin Stone, 7 strikeouts, 7 shutout innings yesterday against the Metsies. Max Fried, 8 shutout innings, not to be outdone, striking out 6. And Matt Waldron struck out 8 Tuesday, 4-0 shutout, but it was the Marlins. But 3 down, Bryson Stott, who's always been an up and down streaky guy. Well, he went 0 for 4. He's in one of those rough patches right now again. Grayson Rodriguez, 4 runs, 7 hits. He's been a little spotty since returning from the injury. Do you think he's 100% Welsh?
Everybody goes to the injury thing. I'm not sure. Like, I guess I don't blame it 100% on injuries, but maybe that is because it's like, why he's got a little Sixto Sanchez in him. Why do we have these like bad starts to games and then he just ends up striking out 10? Yeah, I don't 100% understand that. Maybe that is a part of an injury, and maybe, but also like he's shown some inconsistencies before as well. So I don't know. I don't blame it on injury, but there is something there that I'm not in love with.
Hector Neris blew a save again, a second of the season. That's happened to him yesterday as well. So those were the downs. Let's get to the injuries. Josh Young has been cleared to resume swinging a bat, so that's positive. Francisco Lindor has a boo-boo on his finger. Oh, no. He had left index finger contusion on his little finger. So we are very worried about Francisco Lindor. By the way, I saw on the social medias that Anthony Rendon just bought a $6.5 million house for him and his wife. His new wife or whatever. I guess he got married recently. I don't know. I just saw this and I was like, wow, that's a nice house. They had the pictures of the house.
He's had time. He's just been sitting down. Buy some house.
It's a good life. Anthony Rendon.
Better keep that job.
I'd like him to write a biography called Living on the IL. It's just like what it was like not playing professional baseball.
No, that's the title. What it was like not playing professional baseball.
But it's got that's like the subtitle.
Oh, that's the
I like it was like Anthony Rendon's Living on the IL, or maybe a reality show.
I like the idea too of him. Oh man, he is definitely like and on
like
E
his
or
wife's
something.
like, please, I just wish he was get healthy so he would go play baseball.
Just
He's so
go
annoying around
out
the
of here.
house.
And he's like, no, he's like playing video games. I like the idea of him like sitting in like a big leather bound chair and, leg over a leg, and he's smoking a pipe. And he's like, let me tell you about how I got paid. The greatest con was my baseball career.
Luis Robert hit a homer yesterday, another minor league rehab assignment to AAA. X-rays were negative on Big Vinny Pasquantino, and his leg. Garrett Cole is going to face hitters tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, also on the show, Scott Bogman will be back. I'm helping mom again, another doctor's appointment, so I will be out
about that
tomorrow. So Bogman will be back, but we'll have prospecting with the Welsh. Everything will be there. Garrett Cole again, so we'll keep a close eye on that. See how
Garrett
that goes
Cole or Cole Ragans rest of the season.
Cole Ragans.
Okay.
His arm is attached
Cole?
to his body, as far as I know.
Okay, but trade Cole Reagan or trade Garrett Cole, right?
We are getting closer and closer to that window.
Would you trade Garrett Cole for Cole Ragans right now?
100%.
100%. Okay.
Zero chill, zero hesitation. There you go. Michael Impo says there should be a 30 for 30 on Rendon. I'd love that. I'd totally watch that. I would totally watch like some sort of documentary about him. I think it would be fantastic. Max Muncy, oblique, out again, baseball activities. Mike Trout, by the way, is running on a treadmill. So that's exciting. Do you think he's doing one of those things like, they have these, like
Peloton
path, like these things now, like the Lord of the Rings walk where you get medals. I feel like Trout might be doing one of those things. Don't you think?
Oh, do they? Is that like the Peloton thing?
It's not a Peloton thing, but they do all these things now where, you can walk and earn medals, and you're like walking through Mordor, or you're walking through the Shire, and you're doing like Harry Potter walks and stuff like it's to get nerds out of the house.
What I want him to do,
nerds out of the house.
I want a special Mike Trout version, and it's like every 30 seconds it goes game 1 of the MLB season, and he runs to 162 games, and that's what he's chasing on the treadmill every single time. It'll be motivation. Get to 162, Mike. You can do it.
There you go. Besides Mike Trout, Nolan Jones progressing towards running the bases yesterday.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, no, him and all of the kids. When they let the kids run the bases after the game, it's Nolan Jones,
Mayer
and I think he
them.
knocked some of the kids down.
That's Mike
trying to roll second base. Royce Lewis played 7 innings at third base, so he's getting close. Maybe this weekend. Fingers crossed. Who knows? The Giants put Lamonte Wade on the 10-day IL with a hamstring, and Reese Hoskins is also running on the field. So we'll see. Maybe him and Nolan Jones could do a little race. What do you think, Welsh?
I think Nolan would win that. I think Nolan would win that race.
Too. I agree. Welsh, let's race to today's bets of the day. What do you say? Because it's Wednesday, and I'm feeling lucky. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for the best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. Make sure you are placing all of your bets over on Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code leading off. Again, that promo code leading off at Bet365. And don't forget, 18 or over in Kentucky, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms and conditions apply. Those are very specific places where you have those terms and conditions. Now today, Welsh, I'll let you go first. I feel like I'm always going first lately. So why don't you take the people through your bets of the day?
Yeah, please. Let me go first.
Let's break the streak. Because yesterday you said you were complaining some of my games got rained out. What do you feel good about today?
Yeah, it was an absolute demolishing of yesterday. Cole Ragans being a part of that, of course. Yankees could have salvaged something, and then they lost towards the. It was just a disaster of a day. So we're going to pick it back up. I will not shy away from my first 5s, though. Do not tell me to shy away. I will still go back, and I am doing it with a couple games and a couple pitching matchups that I really like. The Chicago Cubs, first 5 to be up by a run, not money line, to be up by a run because the money line is a little too high. But for some reason, you can find the run line through the first 5 at a pretty good number, -110 for the Chicago Cubs. Shota Imanaga backing him against the Milwaukee Brewers. Next up, the New York Yankees first 5 run line, so up by a run through the first 5. That one is juiced up a little bit more. Luis Gil. Now, I wanted to take some more bets on him, but we really truly don't know what is the backing off of Luis Gil going to end up looking like. So this is kind of this is literally the first game after those comments. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm going to bank on a strong 5 from him and them not losing back-to-back. I guess they could still win and not take the first 5, but we're going to go up by a run with Luis Gil. And then on the strikeouts, I've got a strikeout parlay. Corbin Burns and Luis Heel. I'm going alternate strikeouts at 6. Both of them are over 6 today. If you go 6+ for Heel and Burns, you get -115. And I will tell you, if you want to do the 666 parlay, that parlay, you could find it with Shota Imanaga, and then you would get, if you did him +6, you would then get like +160. So those are my bets of the day. If I mean, I didn't go with the 666 parlay, but I'm saying if you wanted to, Shota's out.
The Mock of the Beast.
There you go. Mock of the Beast parlay.
Mock of the Beast. All right, for me, I'm going to start
luck
here with Seth Lugo, who's been really strong lately. Very strong, actually, better than I could even imagine. He started off slow this year, even though he was winning games, but the strikeout rate was way low. All of a sudden, he has been electric lately. On the money line, give me the Kansas City Royals +117 at Minnesota on the road against Bailey Ober. Going back to the Yankees again. I don't care if it didn't work out yesterday. So Luis Heel on the mound. Now, interesting enough, you mentioned him. I wrote him up as my players to sell this week on FantasyPros.com. So go check out the featured pros that we do every single week there. Buy low, sell high. I just think you're at your zenith right now with him. And I'm using a big word because Wonky Penguin got me that toilet paper of the day with the words in it. So I'm learning a new word. So zenith was today. So yeah, I'm going to be backing the Yankees again on the run line -1.5 at 105, -105. It's a good number there you're getting to beat the Angels. So they lost yesterday. That's okay. We bounce back. We go play today. We go right back at it. And Ryan Pepio is on the mound against the Oakland A's, team that strikes out a lot. Pepio has been really good. Give me the Rays on the run line at home against Oakland -1.5 at plus money, +120. And then for the parlay of the day with Shota Imanaga on the mound here, give me the Cubs -142 on the money line, the Yankees -198 on the money line, the Rays -190 on the money line. Again, we're just winning games. You put those three together, +291, almost 3-1. You're tripling up your money today. So that is my same game parlay of, actually not the same game. That is just my parlay of the day. Different games. Couldn't find anything I liked in the same game today. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just pick my 3 favorites to win. And that's what I'm doing. And those, my friends, are the best bets of the day. Don't forget to download the Betting Pros app. Start betting smarter, not harder. Follow us at bettingpros.com/Joe/Welsh so you can track us, mock us, and win with us and lose with us. It's a whole journey. Be there for the journey. And those, my friends, are the best bets of the day. Now, Welsh, I know we got Scuba on the mound already. He's already got 3 strikeouts, someone told me. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, not Jared Jones. Jared Jones getting hit up a little bit. Couple runs in the first inning.
That's fine. I am undaunted.
Did you know, by the way, yeah. I believe this is the first inning. Someone correct me, but the Nerfy for this game was over -210. It was -210. I saw some -180s on the board, and I believe I didn't have the scoreboard up here. Yeah, it is the bottom of the first inning. That absolutely demolished. That is a true test, by the way, of like Nerfies and their craziness as far as betting. This could still go under through the first 5, yet Jared Jones blown up in the first inning for 2 runs, killing all your -210 Nerfy bets. Blah.
Now, after the show today, we are going to be on Discord. I think I'll be there. I think.
You'll be there.
FantasyPros.com/chat. Discord's the place to be to join us for our show after the show. Cleaning up, we take your questions. So if you want to watch baseball with us, talk about something, you got trades, you got lineup moves, dynasty, keeper, whatever you got, lay it on us. We're here for you. FantasyPros.com/cleaning up is going to take you right there, or just go join the Discord. Look on the baseball channel for it. We'll see if my mic works. I don't know if it will, Welsh. I don't feel like it's ever going to, and I don't understand why. Is it because I have to start the stage? Do you have to start the stage? I don't know.
Stage? You just call me and tell me when you're there. I'll start the stage. I don't know. It hates Joe, but it has become one of my love children of like going into that room and seeing if the little green box shows up around your voice. Guess what? Here's a tip.
But I see I'm going to get myself in trouble, but I see on Discord when you're talking, the little box that you're in, it blinks.
My box, because you can hear me.
Yeah, I see my box blinking, but you can't see my blinking box.
No, you've got your box hidden.
No, it's out there for everybody to see, and it's blinking. I'm telling you, it is.
I don't know. You need to share your box.
I see it's vibrating. It's blinking. It's all the way out there. I don't understand.
Well, we're going to find out in like 10 minutes.
Let's look at the home run board. All right, Pazzy's still at the top at 21. Our boy South African G is at 20. Bows and Hose at 18, along with B Trot at 18. I'm still holding there at 17. Rough day for homers yesterday. I'm mad because yesterday, Welsh, I wanted to take Jose Ramirez was my second choice, and he hit a home run. So I'm going to show Jose Ramirez some respect, and I'm going to go Jose Ramirez today instead. So his numbers against left-handed pitching this year, 328, 391, 639, 1030. Yeah, let's go. Give me Jose Ramirez today. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call of the day?
I'm going to go with the Vladdy Daddy, as he's not been getting the ball in the air. He has been hitting it better. Going up against Chris Flexen, I wanted to take, if I liked any White Sox, if Robert was back, I would have probably taken him up against Alek Manoah. Probably going to be a lot of homers in this one. 1.5 home run per 9 for Flexen, 2 for Alek Manoah. So I'm going to play Vladdy Jr. and just see. I mean, I'm fading away. I'm like 4 homers away from getting on that board. Wonky's there. Just don't know if it's going to happen. I think that the bet of will Welsh make the board or Joe be off the podcast, it's not feeling like it's a lock. I think the odds are changing. The odds are moving from like, plus whatever for Joe to be gone to maybe minus money.
Look, if you want to keep us around all the time and you want more of this, there's an easy way to do it. Tell all your friends. Share the show. Hey, I got this great show. Put it on your social medias. Put it on your X's and your Instagrams and your Facebooking and all the things that you do. Put on the social medias. I've got the Twitter book, and I've got the tweet talk. I get the tweet talk. I don't know what that does, but it does something.
Do you have your own TikTok, by the way?
Yeah, I have my own TikTok account.
I know you like a Joe, because I know you do TikToks for like FantasyPros, because we have.
I am a TikTok influencer.
How often do you TikTok?
Just enough that the trick is to not tick too much, but talk enough.
You got to talk a little while not ticking too much.
By
the way, in our community, Super Dave came in. I don't know if you saw this in the comments earlier. Literally was like, this is a testament to our community. He says, he's like, I barely have the volume on for the show, and I'm in the chat. And it's just like, okay, I guess that's a compliment.
I told you, also we're just window dressing. We could just leave a chat up, and then you and I, don't even have to do the show.
We could you could freeze, like both of our cameras could freeze or something like that, and people be fine.
All right. So your boy's pitching today also for Atlanta. Any parting thoughts on him before we go? Any expectations?
Schwellenbach?
Schwellenbachen.
Yeah, I mean,
Rowan Gardner.
Expectations, I don't know. It's a pretty low K number. I actually feel like that might be, it's just super juiced. It was like 3.5 strikeouts. It was like minus 180. I think it's a decent shot here. I've also seen, Washington's tough though. Like they walk, they don't like to strike out a whole bunch. That's also why that number is down. I don't know. I think it is a streamable play here. I do think it is a streamable play. If you're not, a little bit of worry of your ratios, but decent chance he could go 5 and just might not put up a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, Alek Manoah's on the mound today. Lots of fun stuff. I'm sure tomorrow will be a great show. Plus, tomorrow on the show, it's everybody's favorite. Get excited. Prospecting with the Welsh will be back. So Welsh will have his prospects ready, and Bogman will be here hanging out. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Join us right now live on Cleaning Up on Discord. Go.
Peace.
Be there.